77-66 win over St. Augustine today, opening round of the NCAA West Region Championships. Coach, you guys suffered a tough loss against SPU, 71-54 back in December. What was the difference tonight?
I'd say the biggest difference is we had our whole team. We played them the first time. Connor didn't play. Jared Zoller didn't play, and we're 10 deep. We played 10 guys, and taking 2 out of the equation that stretch, it was a little hard for us. But at the same time, they played really, really well. And that happens. It's why we play these games. I believe in playing, the best teams in the region, going on the road to do it. And if you take a loss in the non-conference, you can learn from it. And we did. We were hungry, and we were prepared for this game, I think, as a result of having been up there before and seen them.
Or you guys are the reigning West Region champs. Winning this tournament, I'm sure, with permission. You had a team-high 17 points tonight, and you guys went on a huge 16-0 run there the last 6 minutes of the first half. Talk about that run and how that gave you momentum the rest of the game.
I mean, for us, we had talked about we got to play defense. I mean, we got to get up, we got to pressure. And we have a manager who charged 3 stops in a row, and we take pride in that. And I can't remember how many stops was in a row, but it was more than 3. And so when we're able to, go into halftime, knowing that we have a bunch of consecutive stops, strung together, it's huge for our confidence, and it's exactly what we need to do. So.
Connor, you had 11 points here tonight. Seattle Pacific entering the game as the top rebounding team in the entire NCAA. You guys were out rebounded but just by 4 rebounds in the game. Talk about the rebounding by your team tonight.
Yeah, it takes a total team effort, especially against them. You got Derek's in the middle, and just looking at it, Levitt still got 13 boards. They have guys that just have a knack for rebounding, so it's not 1 or 2 guys, it's a total team effort, and I think it helps too that we got them to shoot 37%. So.
And following up on that question, SPU's largest loss of the season before tonight was just 8 points for the first team to beat them by double digits or more. Just comment on what was working. You guys shot 50% overall from the field, and they were limited to just 37%.
As of late, we had struggled a little bit towards the end of games, and we built a really good cushion for ourselves at the end. And still, I missed some free throws down at the end, but Corey knocked a lot down, and we had, thanks to Coach, we had a lot of timeouts left down the stretch where we were able to settle ourselves down and just play our own game, and we weren't forced too much to play out of our comfort zone.
And Corey, now you guys have a chance to catch your breath for a little bit, but I'm sure you'll be watching the next game, Western Oregon, Humboldt State. You'll play the winner of that matchup. Comment on those teams. You didn't play either of them this year, but comment on that matchup.
Yeah, we don't know much about them yet. Like you said, we haven't played them yet this season, but we know that they're really talented offensively. And Abdi on Western Oregon, he'll probably be the player of the year in our region. So we know that, these next 2 teams, either team we play is going to be tough, and we got to come again with more defensive energy, and that's really what it comes down to.
And Coach, your thoughts on moving on? You advanced to at least 1 more game. Your game plan heading in, no matter who you play in the next round.
Well, these guys haven't seen much. We would never in a million years go into a game with Seattle Pacific up here and be talking with the players about our potential next round opponents. But I can assure you, my staff and we've been working hard to know everybody to be able to turn this around on short notice and get them. This is a good group in terms of their ability to understand opponents, work hard on film, understanding personnel tendencies, and I think that that's something that we're going to be tested on this short notice. If we're going to be able to continue to build off of that, This is. I'm excited to watch this game as a fan. Both Western Oregon and Humboldt score is easy. They have skilled players on the floor. The focus of our game is going to be how we defend. Are we going to be able to, limit their points per shot? As Seattle Pacific shot 37% tonight. Boy, it'd be nice if we could find a way to do that again. I wouldn't bet on it, but that's our game. That's who we are, and that's what we're going to focus on going into tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Coach, talk about that 16-0 run at the end of the first half there. Penner goes out with 5:37 left. You guys are down 4, and you go out into halftime with a 12-point lead. How much did that change the game, and what did your guys do differently over that stretch?
Well, I mean, these guys could probably attest to how much we've talked this week about attacking Penner and Derek's specifically, off the bounce, off the move to draw fouls on them. And whether it's from the perimeter or the post, wherever, we wanted to attack them, and we went at them consistently. And drawing fouls on them was a huge part of our game plan. We had to get them shorten their minutes. I look down at halftime. I'm like, we got them both in foul trouble, and they played 14 and 13 minutes. And I look at our box score, and I'm like, our leading minute guys still played that much, But those two were a huge key for them, and we had them both off the floor for that 5-minute stretch. And when you take the other team's two best players off the floor for 5 minutes, you're going to have opportunities to do some things. And the postseason presents opportunities at different times in games. Sometimes it's early in a game, sometimes it's late. You have to stay mentally engaged to where when that opportunity for a run comes, you make it. And tonight our run was at the end of the first half. And we were poised and prepared at that moment to seize control, and we kept it the rest of the way.
And then Connor, you missed this first game against Seattle Pacific. What did you learn, just from watching that game, from watching film, from kind of seeing it from the sidelines, and that you were able to put into action in 29 minutes today?
I was pretty amazed at how quickly they ran their stuff and just got into their stuff the first time we played them. And it kind of just looked like a machine at first. And then when we were going over film and stuff, coaches are talking about, hey, we got to push them off their spots. We got to get them in places they don't want to, push them out to 25 plus feet, whatever. They're not a team that similar to any teams that we face in our league, really, in terms of like their play style. So luckily we played them earlier in the season, and we were a little bit more used to them. So I thought we executed our game plan really well.
And then Corey, same thing. 29 minutes. You guys are usually the whole roster at 10 deep is going about 20 to 22 minutes, and you and Connor had to go 29 today. Did you expect that coming into this game, and what was?
With this team, like you said, we have 10 guys who, our minutes shift. So I wouldn't say anyone ever goes into a game expecting to handle more minutes, but all 10 of us are capable of playing more minutes if we need to. There's foul trouble, and so, I didn't realize we played 29 minutes. So, I guess my thoughts reflecting were, hey, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes, and then I'll be happy next game if someone plays 29, and that's good with me. So.
Yeah, and then last thing, Coach, you've talked all year. You've got a young team, but you also have guys with experience from last year. How have you worked that balance? And obviously the product is, at the end of the year, what you want it to be. Is this kind of what you envisioned for this group at the beginning of the year?
Well, to be perfectly honest, this group has exceeded expectations. I wasn't going to sacrifice our schedule. We were going to play a tough schedule regardless of whether we're veteran or young and experienced. We did play a tough schedule, saw teams on the road, got to see some good teams in the region, I think prepared us. But beyond that, I would say, these guys have continued to, we had some tough spots throughout the course of the year. We had some gut checks at different points, and I think it's been a powerful learning experience for these men to have to come together, to have to face the adversity, to own up to the deficiencies that any team has, and not take it personal, work on it, pull together, and as a result, these guys that have been through it, have been able to kind of attest to, hey, it is worth it if we come together and do it. I know it's hard, but it's worth it. And the young guys have stayed true, bought in, and continue to learn, continue to work. And I still think we can improve every game. We did new things tonight that we haven't done all year, things we've been building on. And this program, the way I look at it, it's a process. We're going to keep building off of this. Whenever this season does end, I hope it's not for a long time, but we're going to continue to build in new things and just keep getting better and improving and growing as a basketball program.
Great.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.